that first year, and we had one senior out, and then we went 6-3. But the year we went 1-8, I spent a lot of time just going to clinics, reading stuff. Back then, I don't know if it was VHS tapes or whatever, but I mean, I just spent a lot of time because my O-line coach was terrible, got rid of him. I coached the O-line, which I didn't know much about offensive line, but my point is I got out of my comfort zone. And I think one thing you know, I got this from Coach Keller at Westling, and I haven't done it at Beatrice yet, did it at a few other schools. And if you listen to Coach Schuster, I don't know if anyone listened to Coach Schuster, he does a great job with our offense. But it's about getting out of your comfort zone. And what he would do during camp, he would have all of his coaches coach a different position in the summer, like for their camps. And the point of that is you don't want to go to a camp and feel like you don't know what you're talking about, or it forced his coaches to get better and to learn and to research and get better at their positions. And I think, my suggestion, if you're a head coach or your assistant coach, try maybe doing something a little bit different and get out of your comfort zone. I went and watched Midland practice the other day. They're a 3-4 team, so if you have any interest in 3-4, they're a great avenue to go to. Nebraska now is a 3-4 team. And one of the reasons why we went to a 3-4 is pretty simple. I was a 4-3 guy for years, and I coached in the Class A level in Nebraska as an assistant and head coach for 20-some years. And it was tough at times. But we were in a 4-3 team. We found out that we had a hard time stopping power in our 4-3. And obviously things have evolved, a lot more spread teams. You have to be able to have multi-fronts. But when I took the job as the defensive coordinator, Coach Sexton, who did a great job at Beatrice, he was the head coach for a year, and then I took it over last year. I looked at the film in the spring, and I looked how many times he was a 4-3 scheme, and they were in their 5 front all the time. They're playing Creek, they're playing Norse, they're playing teams that just want to run down and kick your ass, basically, plain and simple. And I noticed, I said, Bob, why should we should probably be in our 5 front. I call it 5, that's what it is, instead of our 4-3, because our base, last year they were probably, before I got there, about 65% of the time. So this is the first year that we kind of went from running our 4-3 as our change-up and our 5 as our base. So it's been a little bit of a different learning curve. But so anything that I can help you with that you might be able to use for your defense, hopefully you'll get something out of it. A few things that we did this year. I looked back as a defensive coordinator, and I looked at what we were doing, and I looked and it was like we did a very good job on technique. I think in 2015 we had like 11 or 12 turnovers is it on defense. We were okay. I guess we probably gave up about 270 yards a game, which isn't bad for the level we're playing. But we weren't turning the ball over. I mean, we weren't getting turnovers, period. And as we got together the staff, we looked at it and said, well, how much do we really work at? Did we really work the turnover circuit or whatever? And we hadn't worked it that much. And we hadn't emphasized it. So right there, you get what you emphasize. If you want your kids to run the football, then you got to emphasize it all the time. In your drills, in your preseason. When we do a drill in the summer and off season, we always have a starting point and ending point, period. And if the kids don't get to that point, there's consequences. You might warn them once, but you have to, kids have to learn to get to point A and point B and do it correctly. So we emphasized, one of the coaches who went to Wahoo, Coach Madsen, does a great job for D-line. I put him in charge of a circuit on turnovers We worked, the same circuit that Norfolk was showing and everything. We did that twice a week or once a week, depending upon what we're, the schedule. And we had 21 turnovers, I think, this year, 3 for touchdowns. But we emphasized it. And I think that's the difference. So the other thing, we're a Class B school, so we're kind of in the middle. We just split our staff in half, totally. So we went from, like for instance, we used to have a freshman staff when Coach Sexton was there. They had one coach on offense, one on defense. So only had 2 coaches working with their freshmen. And then we had the coaches on the varsity, had some volunteers and so forth. And as I looked at it, when I was coaching with Coach Sexton, I didn't think I did a good job as a coach developing our freshmen, sophomores. We didn't have the freshmen there by themselves. So we got together as a staff. I said, guys, here's the deal. If we want to get better, and we want to emphasize getting better, we need to work more drill work than we're doing. We need to be better at tackling. And we need to develop our younger players. Because we weren't doing that, I didn't think. So our staff basically is split in half. Okay? I do DBs, I'm the defensive coordinator, I do all the special teams, and we all kind of help with the special teams, but I'm in charge of it. And the one reason why I was in charge of it, because we weren't very good on special teams the year before. And so we were going to emphasize it, and so I wanted to be in charge of that. So the bottom line is we split our staff, and so the freshmen, sophomores like on a Tuesday. Tuesday and Wednesdays are pretty heavy days. So Tuesdays, the freshmen, sophomores, we have 4 coaches and a volunteer working with the freshmen, sophomores for an hour, 15, 20 minutes after the kicking game. Halfway through, we flip it. Now the juniors and seniors come down, or maybe a couple sophomores that are varsity players. We drill work, we do group work, do another group work, then we got team. So that freshman DB is getting the same language as the senior DB or outside linebacker. And what I liked about it is those kids were getting coached up. I was seeing them. Our varsity coaches were seeing the young kids. We were able to communicate, and we were, I think, a lot better on all levels. So we emphasized it, but if you're going to do that, you have to be able to trust your offensive coaches, or vice versa. And so it works well for us. Going on a little bit on effort, we grade more defensively on a few things. I usually, like for grading a film, how many people grade their films at all? Okay, tell me why you grade the film, seriously. Because number one is, like when I'm at Fremont coaching there, the guy I'm going to put in, he ain't going to be able to play. You can grade him all you want. Well, what happens if the kid ends up getting a 50%? You still play him? Well, it depends who you have. Okay, and then I ask my coaches, is it important to grade your kids? And we spent hours grading kids. So we still grade them, but we grade them much faster. But I think grading your players forces you to look at what you're doing with your kids. And so I tell our coaches, like a coach will say, well, he can't reach block this guy. He's got shitty footwork. He's not stepping with the right foot. He's not dropping, whatever. Well, who's teaching him? Well, how come he's not getting it? It comes back to us as coaches. So you have to rethink how you're doing it. So we grade them, but we're going to do a little bit more on so much technique. We're going to grade mostly on effort. Okay? And it talks about burst, talks about speed, talks about finish. You can say all you want, but unless you're coaching it and you're preaching it, you're not going to get it. And there's got to be consequences for that. One thing that we do is we give like an 80% championship grade. I'm not a big decal guy till I went to Battle Mountain in Colorado. Coach over here will tell you it was a no, and the job was terrible. So we decided we had to figure out how to motivate these kids that were skiers and had a lot of money, and it was pathetic. But we decided to do a reward system. And part of that was like decals for effort, for in the weight room, and blah, blah, blah. Well, the point is our decals that we did, like first of all, we would put like a stripe down our helmet. And if a kid did not get, do all the summer work, didn't get a stripe on his helmet. I know that sounds stupid. Some kids had stripes, some kids had decals, some didn't have decals. The point was, and when I was in Colorado, one of the people on the committee hired me. He was a boy. His name was Carlson's last name. He didn't have anything on his helmet. He was a senior, good player, didn't do anything to prepare. And so she asked me, she says, well, how come he can't can he make up the time to do the decal? I said, no, he hadn't done nothing. Now he played. But the point was, we were trying to install the fact about that you need to hold kids accountable. And it was a big deal. And so at Beatrice, we did like a team decal. So we would say if you could grade out 80%, which a lot of it was effort, 80% grade, you would get so many decals for that week. Or if our team goals would be like 2 or 3 turnovers a game, under 250 yards total offense. It was all basically team goals. And it was a big deal. I couldn't believe how important that was to kids. They knew exactly if they got their goals that week or not. So we went to a championship grade, talked about decals. We did player of the week, offense, defense, special teams. And we actually put the picture, I know it sounds trivial, but we put the pictures up on the locker room. So as the kids walk in, okay, there's offense, defense, special teams, and the scout team player of the week. And we would pick it as a staff, a lot of it on effort. And you'd be surprised at kids that would look at those pictures and as they walk by, says, oh, and then we'd make a special recognition. So that was important. I thought the other thing is we did like a little lunch pail deal. Anybody seen the old lunch pail like Virginia Tech does? We do that. Just a little thing. Coach talked about the candy bars. We did Gatorade for turnovers in a practice. Now I thought probably do candy bars because I ran out of Gatorade after a while. It got expensive. But the point is, they do stuff like that in the NFL. Believe it or not. Okay? So and I was listening on the NFL. I know I'm getting off track. But the other day they were talking about a player who doesn't like playing. He's an NFL player. And he talked on Mike, and Mike said he doesn't like playing football. He hates playing football. But he loves Sundays. He hates the grind. He hates preparation. He hates monotonous practice. They love Sundays. Well, that sounds like our kids sometimes. It's a grind. So we're trying to reward our players who do a good job. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on here real quick. I just want to go over this real quick. Break down the game tape is really important. We spent a lot of time with that. Number 2, when do you hang your hat on and rep it? Okay, how many people defensively run 2 fronts at all? Okay? Coach, with you run 2 fronts, what's the thing that you struggle with running 2 fronts? Alignment. Okay, you know what I struggle with? We have a good linebacker, Jurgen's kid. He plays inside. We funnel everything to him. So we're in our 3-4. Now I have him in the middle in our 4-3. Now instead of reading that guard, so in our 5, when that guard takes, we don't read backs at all, hardly at all. I just don't think you can teach both at the high school level very much. So we're reading the guards pretty much. When that guy takes that zone step, our cat's downhill right now. But if we're in our 4-3, he's in the middle. I don't like to read the fullback as much, but if that guard blocks back, he's got to play that A gap, for trap or whatever. How many times does he get repped if he's in that defense? He doesn't. We ran the 4-3 against Elkhorn, thought we beat them the year before in our 5. For some reason, I thought we could be better on the edge of the 4-3. They kicked our ass. They ran counter, and our All-American linebacker is following the fullback all day long, and we just look terrible. And so the point is, I think you got to be real careful if you run a second front of what you're doing. So it needs to be fairly similar, to what you're doing. So we basically run 2 fronts, but I'm trying to get away from running an even front at all. I don't know if that makes sense. film work, scout work. I know this sounds trivial, but I do a scout book. Coach Schuster doesn't do a scout booklet. My scout booklet, I give it to all our players. I do it for me. That's how I learn. I'm a visual learner. I got to have it on paper. I have to do it. Now, some kids may not do that, but I'm hoping my 35 guys, whatever, that it helped. If it helps 2 or 3, great. Okay, I'll put something in my scout booklet like, first guy that gets to this page, I'll say, that gives me a high five, I'll give him a candy bar or something, because sometimes those kids, they don't look through the scout booklet. But we do a scout booklet, break down their opponent, take away their top 4 or 5 running plays. Last thing is down here, I think here, effort. If you don't demand, you don't get it. Be enthusiastic. I know I'm 57. I got a lot of gray hair, but when it comes to football practice, I am up tempo all the time. And I'm exhausted when I get home. But I just feel like for kids, I don't like standing around. And I think the kids feed on enthusiasm. So I think it's important that they understand you're enthusiastic. And the last thing is bad read steps take you out of the play. Pretty simple. Okay? So slow your kids down a little bit before they decide to do what they're supposed to do. Okay, Coach? I'm going to go through this real quick. That was basically our stats for defense. The one thing that I thought was good I talked about was this. Split the staff. We went 17-6. I know that's not bad. It could be a lot better. But I think our younger kids felt they were being coached up. Our goal is to be 250. We're about 270, so it could be better. So as we have stats like everybody else, but I think the biggest thing is we're not happy with that, but we think we're making progress. Our offense was good. Our offense was second, I think, Class B. They did a good job running the ball. And so we're working on it. We're trying to get better. But I think a few things, if you can take out of that, is we build in a reward system. If you want that, I can give that to you. But I think it's helped our kids. We lost some good players, but our kids are going to be stronger, I think, than they were last year just because of some things we put in. Okay, Coach? Go ahead and keep on going. This is some of the stuff. Keep going. Keep going. All right. Real simple. Just like most, I'm like kind of old school, but I went to this. I thought it was pretty simple. And the key is not how we know it. It's what our kids can understand. And so that's fairly easy for our kids to understand. Years ago, we would just say like we would put it like we would just say like a 1, a 2, and a 3 for everybody. A good friend of mine he says, maybe that's just easier to say it that way for the kids. And I thought, well, yeah, it is, but to me, this is just old school stuff for me. So that's how we number our gaps. That's how we number what technique they're in. Okay. All right, let's talk. We're going to go through these really quick so we can get the video. But this is our base front versus pro formation. And basically what we're doing, guys, is for the most part we're going to shade to the tight end side. So if we have a tight end over here, I'm old school. We put our outside linebacker on the line of scrimmage. Okay, we try to get him down low. We work a lot on I like getting hands on. Okay. Do we always get it? No, we don't. But what I like about this defense is, for the most part, our rover and our wheel backers, those are about the only guys that we're going to flip very much. A lot of times our safeties will interchange, but we basically have 9 guys in the box. Our safety, so if I'm playing this safety over here, and I'm on the open side, and we have a tight end over there, our safeties play at 7. They're playing at 7 yards. Their first step is just a lateral step, just a read step to take a snapshot. To the tight end side, they're playing, depending upon this split here, this is just a 0 coverage. So the dollar has the tight end, corner has number 1, Sam's got number 3, okay? Basically Mike, he doesn't have a guy because the jack has number 2 in the backside. So for instance, if they would happen to rock this guy down here in the queen set, we invert our safeties down. Okay? So if they would happen to rock this guy down, this guy moves up on the line, and they're playing a combo coverage. So for instance, this is like strong side. Okay? In this defense, someone tell me in this defense, okay, we're playing 0. Well, normally we play 0, we're going to call it 6. But if we played 0 like we used to play, him here, the jack, the dollar here, the jack here, playing 0, who has number 3? Who has number 3? If we're playing a shell, we're not playing cover 6 or like a Sam does. Well, shit. Well, you play Elkhorn, they're going to give you play action, there's no way. You're going to yell at that kid for not getting the full back of the flat. And you're going to rip him, and you're going to say, you know, well, he's got to play the run. He's got to play power football, but also him in the flat. So, if we see an offset, now if we see a team that does offset and doesn't really expose us here, we'll stay 0. If we think we need help over here. But normally that's the rule of thumb. We just play quarter, half on the backside. Okay, if they would happen to go motion, okay, then we just slide our people. Okay, coach. Flanker, okay, there's the Elkhorn set right there. Okay, flanker, just double tight. We just give it a bench call. So there is no strength really except for the receivers there. So we're playing 0 here. Okay, he's playing a shade, he's playing a shade, and these two guys play a 4 technique. So their job is we just call it bench. So they're benching, these 3 guys are benching across, okay? And basically they're going to be B-gap players. They're not slanting for now unless that week, sometimes if people are running hard inside here, we'll play them a 4-eye. But basically, when we see double tight, we're benching. So that lets our Sam and our Mike pretty much be straight linebackers. Okay? So we're just playing 0. On this side here, we play what we call combo here. So that corner's playing about 2x5. They actually don't have the jack, should be on the outside. The jack plays a tight end. Corner's got back out on pass. Okay? Okay, now, it's pretty good defense versus that flanker set. Everything's the same inside. We would pinch those guys, but what's the downfall of this defense? The one coach in here said the other day, the very first guy who spoke, I think the guy was sitting over here, he might even be in here, I don't know. But he said, well, how do you stop this out of that defense? Well, you can't. You can't. You're going to roll the dice a little bit. What's good about this is you can play power really good. Okay? You should be able to. We play man, or we'll maybe play 3, but we play pretty much man-to-man here. And these guys, he's got number 3 out, he's got number 2 out, but what's the problem? Again, back out in the flat. You're expecting this guy to play ISO power, and that guy goes down flat, you're screwed. Okay? So, I mean, we play that a little bit against Elkhorn. We're going to kind of change that up a little bit, to be honest. I like it, but it has some, obviously, it has some downfalls. But it's good against the run.
Weigel's tough.
It is tough, okay? But I will tell you, you know how we'll play this? I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Here's how we're going to use this, okay? A lot of times when we see double tight, we'll kind of invert sometimes and roll the safety down, but what Gretna does, okay, they run a 5-3 all the time, but they found out they got to be in their 4 because of all the spread stuff. So, what we'll do next year is play cover 3, okay? Put him in the middle. We did this a little bit later, and then we have him just read quarterback. And so if they got play action pass, you know, like right over here, okay, he goes deep, is going to run him off, okay? And, excuse me, I'll talk about the nub side here, okay? If they go full back in the flat here, this tight end, this safety's going to play over top, he's going to play the full back and flat, but that's, you got to rep it, so. Anyway, that's one way you can play. If you have twins, we just play 0. Okay? Anybody? Why is maybe 0 better than running like 6 or cover 3 in that, do you think? There's a little question and answer deal. This is like professor today. Tell me why that might be a little more sound than they run cover 6. Which we run 3 against that or cover 6. But why you think that might be a better fit for us? Anybody? So we're playing here. These guys are playing 2 read. 2 read or palms, okay? So basically these 2 guys got those 2 guys. This guy plays up, and we can play man, but we're going to read number 2, okay? So if this guy goes deep, he's playing number 2, and he's playing over the top. So we just play like a 2 read on the two receiver side. The problem again is playing cover 6. If you play him here, you rock him down, you already have him on the line of scrimmage. Again, you got fullback in the flat. And a lot of teams will run that. Okay? So we just find out just easy, that's where we start with, so we'll play 2 read. Okay?
You drop that Will at all?
No.
You have him.
He's going. And here's a really good question. You had a good question there. Okay? So, I told you I went to Midland the other day. Okay, there's a reason. We have to be able to do some different things. Okay? So when we start getting doubles, I'll show you. We're adding something. We're evolving what we're doing. So we're going to have our outside backers like in the doubles. Just picture a double set. Okay? A lot of times we like to bring both in high school football. And I coach a secondary, and I'm hanging our cats out to dry, and we got to cover. We're 4-on-4, and we got to get there. But some teams are pretty good at throwing the ball. So in doubles, you know, we got a call we're going to work on where we can bring that guy, bring one outside backer, drop the other, roll cover 3, keep things in front. And that's the part I want to talk about towards the end is our zebra coverage, which is some zone blitz stuff that's really good. But so for the most part, we're bringing it. Okay? Questions at all? Go ahead, Coach.
That's Twins open.
Oh, tough set. Okay? My technological skills aren't very good. I couldn't get that box to get smaller, so I quit last night. So that set's tough. Scott runs that set. So here's the deal, guys. First year's D coordinator, 2015. Okay? Get hired. Coach Sexton hires me. So we're running cover 6 in this thing. Well, Terman's going to run option, isn't he? Well, guess what? So we're running cover 6. We got that cat there. We got this cat here. Holy shit. It's pretty shitty to the weak side, isn't it? If you want to run option. It's kind of funny, that first game. The first play they ran was G scheme. And we rep G about 10,000 times. Careful, that went for 60. Very first play of the game, 2 years ago. I thought, nice hire, Coach Sexton. Good job. Well, here's the deal. Here's what happened. Here's the tight end. Our outside backer's jacked up. He wants to make the play. Guy blocks down. He gets upfield. He's kick out bait. My DN right here gets caught inside, get washed down. Backer steps up. Big play. Point is, we learned from that first game at halftime, made adjustment. We went to just playing. So basically here we're playing 2 read to the left. And right here, he's got back out. We're locked here. Or we can play quarters over here if we want to. It's more sound than if you're playing over here. The coaches are too good at our level. I mean, they're good at your level. Okay? So that's pretty sound. That's just kind of where we go from. But we are going to be able, and I'll show you later, where we're going to drop the wheel backer and roll things. Okay, go ahead and go. We better get going quick. Double tight. What's called double tight? Anybody? It's a bench call. Okay? So we're playing shade with our roller, shade here, we're benching here. This is we're really in good shape playing run game. So here's the deal. If this ball goes stretch here, like on stretch zone or inside zone over here, this safety, these guys are all conversion. He can go pretty good because this guy's the lever guy. So we practice this a lot. Okay? This guy will take his lateral step, flow goes away, his eyes go right here, right to the tight end. And we struggled last year a little bit with their eyes getting in the backfield. But basically, when that tight end's locked on scooping here, he ends up here, and he ends up making that play right there where that Sam backer's at. So our safeties will probably be our second leading tackler, usually, because they're in the run game a lot. Okay? Go ahead, coach. Okay, here's doubles. Now we walk off a little bit. Okay? So we're going to apex out. Okay? We're playing two read on both sides. Does everybody know what two read is at all? Anybody run two read? No? It's a great coverage. We used to play man here a lot, but we really like it a lot for what we see.
Your old match zone.
Yeah, you know what? It is kind of like that, and we are going to run some match. And here's the deal. Live with me a little bit. So, but we're predictable. We were always coming with these guys, so everybody knows we're coming, but we're still pretty good at it. Our secondary is pretty good. Here's where we haven't been real good. Up front, we're small. We are, so we slant a lot and stuff. But our change-up now is going to be, we're going to call this, and you'll see in a little bit, we're going to call this drop 8. Okay? So we're going to play here. We're going to play here. If this guy passes, he ends up, these guys have contained. He should be playing right here. And these guys are going to drop curl flat. Curl flat. Now we're playing two read with those guys. But you only have 3 guys rushing the passer, but it's a good changeup. Okay? The other thing that we're going to do this year is we're going to call Louis or Roger. Okay, so come out. It's Roger. Roger call. We're going to slant right. Slant. He's just going to play a shade. He's going to drop. He's going to come off the edge. We're going to roll down from our shell and we're going to play cover 3. So it's going to look like we're playing shell. Then we're going to roll down and play 3 across, and then we're going to bring something. The idea is that they don't know which backer is going to be coming. So, and that's kind of where we're at right now in our defense. Okay? Texas set, that's a tough, everybody see that set? Very often? That's a tough set. When I was on the offense side, I like this set. Okay? We do 2 things, guys. How many people play cover 3 or like a quarter half in this? Anybody can play quarter half? Okay? That's what we do a lot in trips. So we'll play like him here, quarter. We'll be pretty much locked on the backside. We can drop him or bring him. We're usually bringing him a lot. Okay? But when we're playing, it gets a little bit predictable. If we stay in that, we found out what's even better is the play we used to call it Packer. I think, yeah, we're calling it Packer. So we're going to lock up. So how many times do they throw this cat? If you do your research in trips open trips, that guy hardly ever gets the ball. Look at your tape sometime. See how many times that outside guy catches the ball. You know who catches the ball?
Slot.
This kid, that kid, or that kid. So we just play man technique. We're playing inside here. We play man technique. You don't worry about anything else but that outside number 1 receiver. And we play what? We play 2 read on these 2 cats right here. And then we're locked up on the back side. Now you're rolling the dice on the back side a little bit. If they go motion here, guys, what are we in? Basically like a doubles look. So we're back to 0. Or you're back to 2 read. Palms. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead, coach.
Adjustment for that.
Oh, that's just playing cover 6. Okay? There's trips, how many guys see empty? See empty? You know what? The Norfolk coach was right. You think about it, guys, when you're playing passive at the end of the game or in the quarter, we like to bring it. So here's what we do. If a team comes out and empty, I give them 2 calls. I give them a Wilma call or a drop call. So when they come out empty, I just go, okay, maybe the first series we're going to go Wilma. So a Wilma call is going to tell us we're going to bring this guy here. He's coming off the edge. He's slanting here. He's slanting here. And we're bringing this Mike backer. I like bringing a blitz to where you bring outside here and inside here. Okay, so maybe it's 3rd and 15. I say drop. We're just going to drop here. So on our drop's really easy. Okay, the best thing to do, coach, is play matchup if you can learn, but I don't have time to teach that right now. So we just play drop, curl flat. These guys play quarters. They play quarters, curl flat. Who's he got to wall off? Number 3. Make it real simple. Okay? So when we see empty, we're dropping. I don't like to bump I don't like one backer in the middle. Because if I'm offensive coordinator, what am I going to run with one back in the middle? I'm going to quarterback power. I mean, that's just me. Okay? You can't see my lines there, but we're going to get into this. This is the strong zebra stuff that we do. So we also can run strong zebra. We're running cover 3 out of this, and we are going to go ahead and, like the coach said earlier this morning, they're going to slant actually down to the A gap, and then we're going to bring. Now I'll just show you later here. You can't see the arrows, but this guy's coming off the edge. This guy's coming here. And he's coming there. It's been a great change-up for us. It's hard to block. You have to work it. But that's a different change-up we'll do. Out of empty. Okay? That's Wilma. We've talked about it already. That's the same as doubles. Trips. Go ahead and keep going. All right. Drop 8. I just threw this in actually on Wednesday. Okay, so I went on Tuesday to Midland. It's kind of what I wanted to do. So basically, you're playing your guys in your defense are playing head up technique, and they're just getting into their guys. They're playing a 0 and a 4s, and you're going to drop. Okay, go ahead and go. So if we're playing drop here, the wheel backer. Now, you're going to tell that guy that he's going to jam first and he's going to drop the flat. Is he going to be in the window at all, that little hitch route? No, he's not. We're the same as you, coach, talking about the short route. We're just hoping to converge on the ball and make a play. You know, if they're going to continue to run that, we're going to run, cover 2, which we don't run a lot of, but we run some. It looks like our quarters coverage. So basically, we're running a drop, and we are basically going to get an extra defender on both sides here. So we're just playing they're playing cover 4 here, quarter. We're playing 2 read over here. Okay? It's great against the pass, but you're not going to get much, rush on the quarterback. Okay? Same thing with drop. Now, here's the deal. Against doubles, this is pretty good. Right now, you don't know who's coming. Okay, so if we're playing drop, you don't know if this guy's coming, you know if he's coming, are they both coming? On our drop, he may be dropping, we're playing quarters behind, or if we did Roger Louie, we're going to slant. So if we went Roger, we're going to slant right, cover 3, shade, slant, off the edge, playing cover 3, he's got roll here, he's down, okay? The key thing in cover 3 is these guys got to split those cats. Okay? How many people with the outside backers teach your guys a collision course at all? Reroute. Cover 3, reroute. Okay, tell me how you reroute. I'm curious. I'm going to get better at it. Because here's what I tell my guys sometimes. Here's what happens. If you tell a guy to turn and run and try to knock shit out of him, he has no idea what the ball's at. He has just lost. You'll see it in the film clip. Okay? I found out it's better to drop. Okay? If I'm here and you're number 2 and he's number 1 and I'm dropping here, I'm going to open up and drop. Okay? And that guy goes flat, obviously I know I got to look for number 1. But if he's going vertical, we try to, we're not going to go out of our way to knock him over. But if anything, we're going to carry him and give up the 7-yard hitch route. I want to play safe. I mean, I don't want to give up a 7-yard pass. First seam route. If I was coach on offense again, I saw one high safety, I'd be running the shit out of seam routes because they're hard to stop. They're hard to stop. You get a guy right here that runs 4-7, and then outside backer runs 5 flat. I'm going to throw that seam route. I'm going to have my quarterback drop. I'm going to look left. Safety's going to go. It'll be a big play, but you know, you can get pressure. So I guess my point is you gotta decide how you wanna reroute those guys. We struggle with that. I just tell them carry sometimes, so.
We reroute over the middle, we don't.
Yep.
Because we're circling in the middle.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we do.
What if you walk your outsides off and jam those guys outside in? It takes away your blitz a little bit.
Right.
You can play over the top of it. That's what we've done in the past,
Yep.
to reroute those fast guys, at least
As long as you
slows
don't
them down.
miss them. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But you gotta work the hell out of it to get
Yeah.
to hit that.
Yep.
And take away your outsides, we bring pressure from one of the insides off the slants. That's been good on that.
Yeah. And again, we're trying not to be predictable, and we have been. So that's why we're going to maybe dropping, going to bringing one side and dropping the other. Okay? Okay, we're going to get some film here in a second. Here's the last thing, and then we'll get into some film. How many people play this coverage on trips where we talk about our guys on the hatch. High school hatches are great because you can try to hide a few guys. But let's say the ball's in the middle. Okay, so we run this a little bit, but we haven't worked on it enough. We just call it buzz. So basically, what we're doing here is basically he's looking at number 3. He's going to take the number 3 vertical route. So we're basically the left corner and the strong safety are playing 2 read on these 2 guys here. He's got number 3. It's a matchup. So if this guy goes here at all, we're dropping, but he's looking over here, okay? Because the linebackers are going to pick up anything that goes short. It's just a matchup stuff. We've been looking into it a lot. Nebraska runs it. A lot of teams run it. Lincoln East runs some match stuff, but we just haven't, spent time teaching it yet. But that's kind of what we do a little bit on our buzz coverage. Okay. We talked about slanting. I don't think I need to do that. That's good. Okay, I'm not going to go through all those stunts. You have those stunts. Okay, so let's get to the zebra stuff. Okay? Go ahead and keep going, Coach. We'll get to... Okay, right there. I apologize. Maybe I hit these lights. Okay. I used yellow font on the arrows. That was pretty stupid. Okay. I got this off the internet 3 years ago. Yeah, thanks. I got this off the internet 3 years ago. So I was looking for some 3-4 stuff that was safe, that you could blitz people. And the first guy who spoke this morning, this is what he does out there, your guys' defense. I like it. I don't know why I don't run it more. I was looking back, the clips are from 2015, but I don't know why we don't run it more, because this long stick, and you know what, here's the deal. Coach Madsen from Wahoo, we were running early in the year, we looked like shit running it. It looked like crap. Well, there's a certain technique of doing it. So during the, when we're doing punt team stuff, the D linemen go over there, hey, we're going to work on our long stick stuff. So basically, in a nutshell, if there's no tight end, let's say it's strong zebra, we're going to play cover 3. So we're going to show shell, and we're not good at this yet because we're still learning it. We're going to play cover 3. So you'll see our guys point. Okay, I'm going this, because some of the time your outside backers aren't the smartest cats. They just need to know that if this guy's going, he needs to know he's got to drop. So we work that quite a bit. And so what we tell that, if there's no tight end, this guy's going at the quarterback or the near back aim point. He has no pass responsibility. If that guy swings, screw it. We ain't worried about it. Okay? We're going to go right at the quarterback. There should be another back here. Okay? So he's got basically contained. He's going A back gap. He's going B gap. And then we're playing cover 3 right across. Okay? So we just give it a scrape call. Go ahead and go next. Let's see if we have. There it is. Now there's a tight end. So there's a reason why I like being on tight end, because now we're going to tell that if the ball's over there, he's going to long stick the B gap. We're going A gap with the end. This is our big Jurgens kid. He's coming right off his ass. And you're going to see on the tape, Jurgens wants to get outside, and there's some plays you'll see where we get gashed a little bit. So basically, if there's a tight end, the rush, the rover's going to go B, end's going A. Everyone else is just slanting normal. Okay, he really shouldn't be slanting. He just should be setting the edge over here, and we're playing cover 3. It's really simple once you start doing it. Kids like it. You're playing cover 3 behind it. Okay, it's pretty easy but you have to rep it. Okay.
So what happens if you get caught? They want to run, if they happen to run a little power coming that way and you're caving down.
That dollar's got it. He's reading that tight end. And here's what you're going to see, guys. You'll see it on tape. Your linemen, it confuses a little bit. Yeah, if they hit you right, it's just like your guys' defense. I'm going to tell you what, that's hard, what you guys do. But I'm going to tell you what, you better be really good at it, because if I'm a really good combo blocker and I got a good tight end, I'm going to get some yardage. I mean, it's who's ever got the kids and who's got the chalk last. But you're right. If it happened to be toss out here, he's got to make that play. Well, you'll see on tape, how we work on redirecting a lot. Okay? Questions on that, guys?
Do you have your stand-backer delay that a little bit so he doesn't get caught in the wash?
Well, he's supposed to. Sometimes you know how those guys, kids, they give it away. But and then that's again, you can do it on. We've done it off the boundary, so you can do it in the field, and you can do it in the short side. Okay. That's week 0. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm going to go get the film on real quick. Any questions on that stuff there?
Be the second guy.
Has it been boring? All right.
Where's your film at, Meyer?
Right here. There it is. Right there. Okay. Now I got your other. I'm kind of a preparation freak if you haven't figured it out. You can just follow along or you can just watch it. I don't care. But I just thought it might help you a little bit. So here we go. We're playing Omaha Gross. They run empty. They're pretty good at, Coach does a good job there. Okay, so I put down there cover 4, so we're playing, we got a Wilma call. Okay, so they're coming out. Run back. So we're playing basically on top there. This goddamn thing. We're playing basically quarters up top. And he's playing curl, hold the same route to the flat. These guys are playing 2 read over here. We're coming here, coming here. Oh, thanks, Coach. I borrowed this from my principal. I'm going to tell him. Oh, that's a nice one. They must make a lot of money in those parochial schools. We do a good job of getting there. Don't you like the orange jerseys? They look nice, don't they? See, this guy here, he really has to hold this number 3 guy. If he goes vertical, he's going to go with him, basically. Okay, that's good, Coach. Hey. Play 2, empty again. Run it back. Sorry. See, they like that route just sitting there. So it's really easy for us here. We do pretty good. Now look, there's your reroute. I don't like that. See that, how it gets turned? And look, hey, we are beat right there for that corner route. That should just be right there. He should be playing that, and he should be playing this guy here.
Your safety's already inside.
Yeah. Well, look where his eyes are at. See that? He's a good player, but he liked to look inside. But it worked out pretty good. Okay? I like pressure on that. I just do. Okay, here's Twins Open King versus Waverly. So we got just base on here. Okay, so it's hard to see because hey, we got pink jerseys on. Pink out. It was awesome. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you something. Stop the tape. Best thing you ever do for your community. We had a lady in the school system. My wife's had breast cancer, and so I've been through all that. One of my best friends' wife just passed away. Jerry Donahue's wife passed away of breast cancer just yesterday. So we did a pink out, which everyone does. But you know what? I went out and said, let's go ahead and get jerseys. Let's do a big deal and get jerseys and make a big. And we made a lot. We made like $6,000 for this teacher who has breast cancer. It was awesome. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. And we got these jerseys donated by, and you know, you can go through the whole thing. But the point was, it was a great deal. And you know what? The Waverly coach, I don't know him real well. He did a really good job. But they wore pink stuff, came over and talked to our teacher who had breast cancer. So it's a pretty good deal. It was worth all the work. But we're just in base. I won't do this long because you can't see. But this guard blocks down. Linebacker fills. That's that Juergens kid. Okay, we could be a little bit better to the ball there. It's hard to see from a long ways away. Okay, here's Crete holding their coach. Okay, okay now they're double tight gun. So what are we doing up front? It's a bench call. So that's what we do. Come out. Okay, whatever defense we're in, we're gonna bench unless we got something called. So it's an automatic bench call. So they're benching here. We're playing. You can see our safeties are playing away, and that's that Harms kid. So we gotta stop him on quarterback power. Go ahead and run it. Outside backer didn't get blocked, but the safety did a good job of filling. Our guys up front didn't do too bad. They were getting better this time of year. Okay? Here we go. Play 6. Oh, run it back. There's Norris. They're turning into the rival big time anymore now. Okay, so they're in bunch. So we're playing base, but we call Cardinal. So they like to run this set. So we're slanting wide side, the strength, outside backers up. He doesn't do a great job. Our tight end does a pretty good job. But we're rolling the corner up. We're playing 2 safeties behind. So we're basically playing combo over here. He's locked up with that cat there. Okay, but we do a pretty good job of running to the ball, which isn't bad.
Is that Juergens on the run through?
Yes. Okay. But so we have a check call. That we just called it Cardinal that week. Okay, you know, Maryland I. Jack Gugemoss does a hell of a job here. If you look at that, now watch. They're gonna this guy's gonna arc up. We hadn't seen that against anybody. So they're gonna arc up. So look what that outside backer does. If you can see it, what's he do? Guy arcs. Step widens out. Just what they want him to do. Kick out, baby. We do a pretty good job up front. Okay, but we line up, and this is what we call monster run back. Okay, so we're basically playing cover 3, and now we brought that dollar right in the middle, and that's that Schultz kid who's a damn good football player. So we just said, you know what, we're going to play base, and we're going to let him just mirror that eye back, and it was a pretty good changeup. Okay, it's just a little different changeup. All right. Next page, we got 5 minutes. You know what? Let's go down to number 10, Coach Columbus. Freeze a second. How many coaches hate that? You know, I break down tape. I cannot have the sound on. It drives me freaking nuts.
You know, you can control that.
I know. I know. It drives me nuts. I can't stand it. But anyway, so there we are right now. So we are in number 10. They're in trip. Here's what they are. So here's a special call. They were on trips here at the tight end. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring him here. They're going to bring this cat across. Okay? So we had a call on that set that we would call that, I think it was called maroon or whatever. We just told our safety that they ran this route about 90% of the time. So we just jumped that route, kind of floated it, scored on it. The point is, we'll check a few times to a certain formation. Okay? Let's go with the pistol slant. Anybody see this type of formation? Freeze. There you go. So, that's all right. Okay, so freeze it. Okay, so they're double tight. They're power. They're a pretty good football team, and they're excited. So what we do is he does a shit. That's our quarterback. Look where he's at right now. That's not where I want him. But anyway, we always invert on tight end sets like that. We're going to, like against you guys on the double wing, we're going to invert our safety down and put our corners deep because there's better tacklers. So we invert down. We play combo coverage, basically. So he's got tight end, he's got back out. that back comes at him, he's got to go outside shoulder collision course. It's a tough, you're asking that cat to do a lot. So he has number 40 out in the flat, but he also has to contain. That's why I played in college. It's tough, but kids did a pretty good job, not very physical. Or a D-line run back. So with this motion, all of a sudden the linebacker said, oh, Liz called, they're going to slant left. Slants across his face, makes the play. So we'll have our kids slant at the very last moment because they were tendency to run power that way. Okay, coach, there's the monster set. Linebacker, poor read there, but you had an extra guy in the box. Okay, it's just a little change up. Again, pretty good up front. We're playing 4 eyes with these guys. Not bad, takes 2 blocks, but we do a good job of filling with the safety. Okay, now let's go, there we go. Oh, now you need to click out of that. I got 4 minutes. Let's go zebra, right? Practice. Okay, I'm going to go through this quick. If you want into zebra stuff,
Under scrimmage? Where you at, Kevin?
it's, yeah, right there, practice. Up top. Nope.
Oh, okay, here you go.
Yep. Okay, so just watch this for a little bit. We did this, I spoke out of Holdridge, so I didn't want to redo the tape and reinvent the wheel. So you can see the footwork that they're doing. There's that Jurgens kid. Not very good stance there, but he's pretty good. Okay, so they're going to A-stick, and then he's going to go. And then we're playing just cover 3 behind it. Go ahead and go next. It should just keep going. So there's a whole bunch of clips on it. I'm not going to go through all, but just go for a little bit, Coach. Because it has all the drills on it in here, so just go ahead and click it. Or can't you click it?
It's going. Just hit next clip.
Okay, so that's how we incorporate, like running, and this was like last spring. So we incorporate doing the stunt and then getting on your angle and redirecting. So now it plays over there. Oh, that's a pass, just a regular pass. Okay, let's see if we can get to the, keep going. Keep going. It's about 17. And this is just individual stuff here, so at least you'll see it if you want. Huh?
30.
Yep. I should go next. Oh, where's the, there should be some clips.
There's 17.
There we go. Okay. Run it back. Okay, so here's your zebra stunt. The left end does a good job. He redirects. Our rover needs to get head up more so he's way outside. And our Sam Backer, who's the Jurgens kid, overruns the play. See how wide he is? He should be right in there. Okay? Next play, Coach. Here's here's strong zebra. Great job. See how they redirect? So this defensive end here does a really good job. Comes down, redirects, makes the play. That's the linebacker, that's Cam. Okay? Now here's against Elkhorn Mount Michael a couple years ago. We had the stunt coming here, which wasn't, they struggled that year. But here's the deal, this guy's wrong. He goes inside, we have nobody out here. We get a guy with a hand up, but again, you know, not communicating up top. Okay, Coach, go to the 5th one here. Play 5. There we go. That's fine. Now freeze it. That looks like horse shit. Run it back. Watch. I put some. Look at that. That's embarrassing. Okay. The problem is they don't get the call in. This last year we didn't flip anybody. That was the reason, because it looked like, you know, and it looked terrible. It looked like we didn't know what we were doing. But this is off of, looks like twins open. So we're coming, go ahead and run it. So he's coming off the edge.